I'm Chad Yielding, and I own Village Nest Landings, a short-term rental, really boutique company. We're not looking to be large like Vacasa or anything like that. Just be that boutique agency to help, help homeowners or vacation rental owners with making their incomes or making their properties as passive as possible. Um, I got to looking into this because we want to bring on an employee full time and that can kind of run our operations. And this offered us a good opportunity to do that.
Awesome. So, hey, what got you looking for funding was you needed to pay an employee that you're gonna bring on.
That's
All
correct.
right. And yeah, awesome. So, how much are we sitting at in funding right now? How much funding do
We're
we have?
currently sitting at 100 grand.
100 grand. Okay, with one more application at Wells Fargo. So now that you have this $100,000 and a little bit more possibly with Wells Fargo, what's now possible for you? But paying that employee, what is that going to be able to help you in your business do?
Oh, it's essentially bringing on an operations manager for our company. We can hit the ground running because right now I own another business, so my time is very limited. So being able to put someone in place to create those SOPs and make sure we can really take this thing to the next level, that's kind of the idea there. And with some of that funding as well, it will provide us the opportunity to go after some arbitrage type deals that we can fill those properties with furniture, do some design and staging and some partnership deals and things like that. So it's just going to be tremendously helpful.
Amazing. And I guess what would you say to someone, Chad, that's on the fence about taking the leap to getting funding for their business? Obviously, it can be scary. You're a veteran, so in business you have experience. But someone that's newer, right, and looking at, okay, we're looking at like six figures in funding or $50,000, $80,000 in funding. Man, I usually people are just they know they need it, but they're scared to just go out and get it because of
Mm-hmm.
all these unknowns. So like, what would you tell to somebody that's on the fence like that about, I guess, funding in general, about our process, about, yeah, if they're on the fence, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, so I mean, if you're on the fence and you're scared, good. You should be scared when you're trying to, especially when you're trying to acquire funding, right? You are creating a little bit of debt for yourself, but you've got to be disciplined enough to leverage that debt so that you can get on the positive side of it, which is exactly what we're doing, right? It's funding that I don't have that I need to take my business to the next level. So if you are that type of individual, then jump all in, right? Don't sit and wade back in the waters. Just jump off into the deep end and go swimming. I'm very much a sell the boat to the island and then burn the boat kind of guy. Because then you got to figure it out, right? Which is
Right.
ultimately what's happening right now. Is we're going to hire this employee and it's got to be figured out. That's a fair statement. I'm creating a little bit of debt now for this huge growth that's going to come in the next couple of years.
I think that resonates to people because, they might be, if you're listening and you're like, oh yeah, I've taken risks before and it's not panned out, more times than not. Just because that has happened in the past doesn't mean that will happen again. Don't project that into the future. Basically, what you're saying. And also, welcome to the big leagues. Like, this is what you have
Right.
to do.
Right.
Right.
Congratulations on learning. It's something called fail forward. As a matter of fact, one of my core values in another company that I own is to fail forward. In other
Hmm.
words, I want my employees, this sounds crazy, but I want them to go out and mess stuff up because I know that's how they learn. And as long as we learn from that and don't make that mistake again in the future, then it's not actually failing, right? It's actually growth. But you can't grow if you don't try. Go out and try and you're not willing to make that mistake, you're never going to grow.
I'm looking at the notes here, a bunch of positive stuff from my team back on your file and just interacting with you through this whole process. So thank you for being a great client, and thank you for putting in the work. Obviously, there was a little bit of work that's needed on your end as well to
Yep.
accomplish this, but glad that we got you the funding that you need, and looking forward to your future success and a lot more success.